Hello, dude. I'm David, and I'm here with Aaron at the NIS America Showcase. Thank you all for joining us, as today we're going to show you what NIS America has in store for 2019.
Absolutely. 2019 is an exciting time for NISA, and nothing says it louder than our most recent game announcement, which some of you may have caught earlier in January. But don't just take my word for it. Let's head down the trails to our first presenter, Mr. Kondo at Nihon Falcom.
皆さん、こんにちは。日本ファルコムの、代表取締役の近藤と申します。千の奇跡シリーズではですね、プロデューサーを務めています。それではですね、早速ですけれども、千の奇跡3の PV の方をご覧ください。どうぞ。
The embers of war are about to ignite. Trails of Cold Steel 3, the legend of Class 7 begins anew.
それではですね、早速千の奇跡3がどんなゲームかというのをご紹介してまいりたいと思います。千の奇跡3のお話はですね、前作で、エレボニア帝国の内戦が終結して、それから一区切りついた後のお話となります。なので、当然前作までの登場人物たちも、たくさん登場しますし、それから主人公も、続投してリー・シュバルカーになります。3から始めていただくお客さんにとってもですね、もちろんワン、ツーがどういう話であったのか、それからどういう人物であったのか、そういったものは千の奇跡3の中で、きちんとフォローできるようなシステムが、導入されています。ただですね、やっぱりワン、ツーのお話を、知っていただいた方が、より楽しめるかなという内容にはなっています。千の奇跡3のシステムはですね、千の奇跡1、2の時に実はいろんなやっぱりユーザーさんからご意見をいただきまして、でその中でやっぱりもう少しゲームをスピーディーに遊びたいとか、それからコマンドをですね、より直感的に操作できたらいいなといったご意見をたくさんいただきました。そういったところを受けまして、千の奇跡3からはですね、UI の変更を行っています。ワンボタンで戦うとか、それからアーツといったものを選べたりとか、そういった UI の改善が行われていますし、それからそうですね、ビジュアルなんかを大幅に全体的にやっぱりパワーアップしています。大きなシステムとしては、ブレイクとそれからオーダーというシステムが今回追加されています。ブレイクはですね、ブレイク値というものが敵ごとに設定されていまして、そのブレイク値をゼロにすると、敵が気絶して、その間に有利な攻撃を叩き込めるといったシステムになっています。それからオーダーにつきましてはですね、これは味方側の各キャラクターにですね、いろんなバフ効果を発揮する、機能が追加されています。大変その千の奇跡キャラクターがたくさん、登場しますけれども、キャラクターごとにいろんな、オーダーを楽しめるので、戦闘もですね、つい多彩な、戦術を仕掛けることができるという形になっています。そうですね、ワン、ツーまでの、リーンが所属していた、7組はですね、同級生として、主人公たちと絆を、築いていく仲間たちでした。千の奇跡はですね、シリーズを通して、リーンの半生を描く、内容となっています。その学生生活を過ごして成長したリーンが、3からはですね、自分の受け持つクラスを持つ先生となって登場します。その受け持つクラスが今度の新しい7組となっているわけですね。当然今度は先生として、生徒と接していくことになりますので、当然最初からうまくはいかないですよね。なかなかやっぱり言うことを聞かない生徒だったりとか、その中で、やっぱり新たに絆を、築いていくという中で、新しい7組というのは非常に重要な役割を果たしていますので、そのあたりに注目したゲームを楽しんでいただければなと思います。千の奇跡3はですね、千の奇跡シリーズの、後半の物語となっています。 当然その前作の隅の月1、2で、いろんな謎が提示されましたけれども、例えばリーン自身が抱える謎であったりとか、それからエルボニア帝国という大きな部隊の、呪いですね、こういった謎が、3で、明らかになってきます。その点についても、非常に、物語の中で魅力的な部分となっていますので、注目していただければなと思います。隅の月3、ぜひ手に取っていただければなと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
Now that was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Kondo, for joining us. It's great to see so many familiar faces in Trails of Cold Steel 3, and new and old players alike will appreciate having a strong figure like Reen leading the way.
This is truly a legend in the making. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 3 launches exclusively on PlayStation 4 this fall, and pre-orders are available now.
Now, saving a kingdom, it's hard work, but teaching a quirky princess how to do it?
That's just crazy.
Yeah, that is. Here to guide us through our next exciting title is Mr. Niikawa from Nippon Ichi Software.
Hi. 皆さんこんにちは。日本一ソフトウェアの社長の新川宗平です。今日は NISA アメリカのプレスイベントにお越しくださいまして誠にありがとうございます。本日は、2タイトル皆さんのためにご用意いたしました。それではまず1タイトル目の四季姫の方から、プロモーション映像をお届けいたします。どうぞ。
四季姫共同会のディレクターを務めました高野と申します。
では早速高野さんに質問をさせてもらいます。四季姫のゲームのコンセプトを教えてください。
一人のプレイヤーの指揮官が多数の兵を操って敵を撃破し物語を進めるという、そういった企画を思い浮かべまして、そこで魅力的な姫を立てることによって楽しいゲームになるのではないかと思い、そういったコンセプトでゲームを作らせていただきました。
なるほど。それでは、このゲーム、プリンセスは金の亡者の、続いてのディレクションということですけども、ゲームとしては何かつながりがあったりとかあるでしょうか？
そうですね。プリンセスは金の亡者ではギミックを使って大量の敵を1モーダーで演するというシステムがありまして、そちらがユーザーさんに大変好評いただきまして、それを生かしてまた新たにそれを組み込んでまた1本ゲームを作りたいなと思いまして、そのシステムを生かしたゲームとしてさせていただきました。
あとちょっと気になるリプレイ性というかやり込み要素があれば教えてください。
このゲームは4人の市民をそれぞれ育てるプレイヤーの方に育てていくゲームです。こちらコラボレーターによってストーリーが分岐したり、あとはプレイヤーがどの姫を気に入ったかということで選択も可能でして、それによってその姫との結末であったり先行きを見ることができます。それが4人の姫を繰り返し全ての姫をプレイしたりとか、あるいは新しいプレイヤーならではの話をするので、そういったものが繰り返し楽しみだと思います。
なるほど。では、最後の質問ですが、高野さん、一押しの姫様を。
はい。この姫の中には、魔女姫という姫がありまして、ベロニカという姫なんですけれども、こちら、合理性と効率性を重視したギルドローンをして、それは話が楽しく、あまり他のゲームにない、ある意味その日本ソフトウェアらしいドラマとして楽しい話になっておりまして、私もすごく大好きで、それが私の一押しとなります。
なるほど。それは非常に楽しみですね。はい、ありがとうございました。それでは、そんな四季姫の方を、ぜひよろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
はい、ありがとうございました。はい、では続いて、新作のラピスリーアビスの紹介をしたいと思いますが、ちょうどディレクターがいました。
皆さんこんにちは。ラピスリラビスのディレクターを務めさせていただいておりますイタノと申します。よろしくお願いします。
はい、ではまずラピスリラビスのプロモーション映像の方をご覧になっていただきましょう。どうぞ。では、イタノ質問です。はい、ラピスでのイタノの役割、はい、全部教えて、ディレクター以外の。
はい、わかりました。まず、今回のゲームでは、まずはディレクターとして、プロジェクト全体を、統括させていただいております。で、それ以外にも、企画書の制作だったりですとか、あとゲームデザインを考えたりとか、各種テキストなどを作っております。またちょっとデザイナーとしても、参加しておりまして、キャラクターデザインですとか、背景マップのデザインですとか、あとはユーザーインターフェースのデザインですとか、モンスターデザインですとか、エフェクトだったりとか、いろいろやらせていただいております。
一人で作るんじゃないよね。
そうです、一人ではないです。はい。はい。
そんな感じでいっぱいやっていたんですね。
はい、そうです。
で、ゲームのコンセプトを教えてもらえますか？
はい、まず、このゲームについては、まずキャラクターが可愛いキャラクターで、画面狭しと大暴れできる爽快感。また、画面を埋め尽くすような大量のアイテムがドバーッと出て、それの気持ちよさだったり、爽快感につながったりとか、そういうところを重視しております。
今回このゲームシステムが非常に特徴的だと思うんですけども、その見どころについておっしゃってください。
はい、まず今回のゲームなんですけど、パーティーを組むようになっています。でそのパーティーっていうのは、日本にはちょっと団子っていう和菓子があるんですけど、その見た目がもうこういう風に団子をこう積み上がっている、もう本当にこの見た目まんまです。で、あと珍しい点としては、2D のエコスクロールアクションとしましては、珍しくそのパーティーを組んで、ダンジョンを攻略するっていうようなシステムになっておりまして、一人で戦うよりも、いろんなキャラクターの、食料などを組み合わせて、自分だけの攻略方法を見せたり、本当に見た目を好きなキャラだけで積んで、見た目重視の好きな単語を作るとか、そういった楽しみ方ができるようになっております。
結構その組み合わせによってできることだったりとか、戦い方の特徴が変わってくるんですか？
そうですね。8種類の食料があるんですが、食料ごとに使える技などが違いますので、その組み合わせによって、ここはちょっと有利になったりとか、ここは苦戦するから別のやつに組み替えてみようとか、今いろいろな試行錯誤ができるようになっております。
なるほど。それは非常に楽しみですね。私も実際遊んで変えたんですけれども、ゲームはあまりアクションゲームとか好きじゃない下手くそなんだけども、そんな私でも遊んでるとどんどんフィーバーが来たりとか、なんか上手なのを感じさせてくれる。
そうですね。今回は本当に簡単な操作で派手な技がどんどん繰り出せるようになってますので、アクションがちょっと苦手な人でもちょっとガチャガチャ触るだけでもすごい派手な画面で気持ちよくなれることができます。
そうだよね。非常に爽快感があります。あとモンスターのデザインも非常に鮮やかな感じなんですけども、そこもなんかこだわりがあるでしょうか？
そうですね。今回に関してはモンスターに限らず、全体的にも色を結構派手めに作ってあります。
今回キャラクターデザイン全部デザインしているんですけど、なんかお気に入りのデザインキャラクターだったりとか、おすすめみたいなのがこだわりがあったりとか、そういうのはあれば教えてください。
プレイヤーキャラクター8種類食料あるんですけど、個人的にはどれも気には入ってるんですが、あえて押すのであればメイドという食料がありまして、これはちょっと珍しいかなと思っております。他の食料は剣ですとか斧ですとか、そういういかにもな武器を持っているんですが、メイドさんはその フライパンで戦うとか、ちょっと変わったビジュアルとすごい可愛いアクションをしているので、ぜひそういうところに注目していただければなと思っております。
なるほど、ありがとうございます。
今回のゲームは、とっても可愛いキャラクターと本当に画面を埋め尽くすようなアイテムでとても派手なビジュアルを体験してもらうことができ、非常に爽快感あふれているものとなっております。また操作もそれほど難しくなく、簡単操作でどんどん派手な攻撃を繰り出していけたりとか、アクションが苦手な人にもぜひ触っていただきたいと思っております。ぜひ楽しんでいければと思います。よろしくお願いします。
じゃあ、次に私ですけれども、板野君はこれまで魔界戦記1世代や5でデザイナーを務めてくれたりですとか、あとは、魔女とヤッキーでウラも
お手伝いです。
あと夜回り、
夜回りですね。
っていうので、これまで日本ソフトウェアのゲームにたくさん関わってくれているスタッフなんですけれども、今回初めてゲームディレクターとしてデビューいたしました。そんな板野君が渾身の力を込めて作ったゲームですので、皆さんぜひ応援してあげてください。よろしくお願いします。はい、ということで、今回、こちらの式姫と、こちらのラビスの2タイトルを紹介させていただきました。2019年日本一ソフトウェアはこの2タイトルに限らず、まだまだ他の新しいタイトルの準備をしております。できるだけ早く北米欧州のお客様にお届けできるように頑張って開発していこうというふうに考えております。今後も日本一ソフトウェアとNISアメリカの応援をどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you, Mr. Niikawa, Mr. Takano, and Mr. Itano for taking the time to join us on the showcase.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see how multiple heads can be greater than one.
The Princess Guide launches March 26th for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4.
And on May 28th, stack, raid, and get paid when Lapis Labyrinth launches in North America for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. And now it's time for our first new announcement in this showcase. It's time for
The Alliance Alive HD Remastered.
The Alliance Alive HD Remastered is a fantasy RPG where you play as a group of human resistance fighters trying to reclaim their world from demons. And these demons came from another world and used their powers to divide and destroy most of humanity, leaving everyone separate into isolated realms.
Exploring the world plays a major role in this game. Each realm has a theme and environment, from lava-covered wastes to snowy mountains. You can navigate them by catching a ride in one of the many vehicles.
Oh, I love the Snow Bunny vehicle.
Yeah! Now, your goal is to unite each area and form alliances to reclaim the land from the demons.
And speaking of alliances, there's like no way to defeat these demons alone. In forming these alliances, you'll gain access to new advantages as well, like undiscovered areas, access to vehicles, sorcery skills, and much more.
Between the epic story, innovative gameplay, enhanced graphics, and fantasy-inspired visuals, The Alliance Alive HD Remastered is one title that you will definitely want to keep your eyes on.
The Alliance Alive HD Remastered will be released this fall on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PC.
And now we'll take a break from reality and get a dose of the virtual world.
An overdose, that is.
That's right. Let's venture into Mobius with our next presenter, Mr. Yamanaka from Furyu.
はい、カリギュラオーバードーズをお待ちの皆様、はじめまして、プロデューサーの山中と申します。よろしくお願いします。今回ですね、カリギュラオーバードーズが欧米のファンの皆様にお届けできるということで、今回このメッセージでご挨拶をと思っております。そもそもこのカリギュラというタイトルですね、2016年に PS ビータで発売された、学園時代 RPG のリメイク版カリギュラオーバードーズというところですね。前作カリギュラがですね、皆さんの熱い支持を受けまして、リメイク作を作ることができるようになったというところで、我々もですね、全力で作ってきたタイトルになります。オーバードーズの名の通りですね、過剰に強化してやろうと。リメイクとは銘打っているんですが、ほとんど、ゲームの部分を作り直すとですね、新しいシナリオを追加して、新しいキャラクターを追加して、新しい音楽を追加して、でかつですね、ゲームエンジンに入るアンリアルエンジン4に、マットを移し替えまして、こちらとしても新作を作るつもりで、作った非常に力の入ったタイトルになります。キャラクターの追加ですとかシナリオの追加で、代表的なのが学士ルートと呼ばれる、追加要素なんですけれども、じゃあ学士というのは前作でいういわゆる敵なんですね。で、今回のオーバードーズでは、主人公の敵方に当たる組織に、つくことになる。つまり、味方を裏切ることができるというルートが入ってます。説明したようにですね、カリギュラ効果というのは、やっちゃいけない方で見たくなる、見ちゃいけないものほど見たくなるという意味ですので、今回の裏切りというのがある種、このカリギュラらしい、やっちゃいけないことだからこそドキドキする要素なのかなと思っております。ぜひそちらをちょっと楽しみにしていただければなと思っております。最後に欧米のファンの皆様にメッセージ伝えたいことというところなんですが、今回のカリギュラですね、日本の現代社会が抱える精神の問題ですとか、社会の問題、そういったものを描写したタイトルです。かつですね、国内で人気のボーカロイドの音楽を作っているボカロ P の皆さんに楽曲を提供してもらっていたりですとか、非常に今の日本っぽいゲームになっているかと思います。僕自身もこのカリギュラが、ゲームの企画作品の一発目というところで、こういった感覚、ちょっと日本的な感覚っていうのが、欧米の皆様にどう受け取られるかなというのもドキドキでありつつ、非常に楽しみです。フリューとしましてもですね、大きいゲーム会社にはできないような、ちょっとこういう尖ったタイトルをどんどん出していくというところで、どんどん存在感をしていきたいなと思っておりますので、ぜひ気になった皆様がプレイしていただけるとありがたいです。では、ありがとうございました。カリギュラプロデューサー山中でした。
怖がらないで。あなたを楽園に連れて行ってあげる。私、ミュウ。辛い、苦しいってあなたの声、聞こえたよ。だから、メビウスに連れて行ってあげる。この街の半分は私が作ったんだよ。すごいでしょ。現実で見たことがあったからここに見たんですね。記憶を消したからメビウスから出ようなんて普通は思わないはずなんだけどな。みんなが現実の辛い思い出を全部忘れられるような世界にしていくからね。もっと人を呼んでみんなを笑顔にしてあげるんだ。どうして私に反対ばかりするの。私はみんなを幸せにしたいだけなのに。みんなの言う通りだったんだね。あなたたちは乱暴なことをする悪い人たちだって。みんな辛かったんだよね。苦しかったんだよね。ずっとメビウスにいればいいよ。ミュウ、もっと頑張るからね。嫌なことは全部忘れちゃい。願いは何でも叶えてあげる。
Thank you, Mr. Yamanaka. You know, I love a good RPG, especially ones that explore alternate realities like Mobius in the Caligula effect Overdose.
The awesome music and anime cutscenes are really nice touches too. It makes Mobius look like a perfect world. Well, almost perfect.
Yeah. But, you know, as long as I get those, like, awesome weapons and the imaginary chain skills, I'm not gonna mind.
Right. The Caligula Effect Overdose comes out tomorrow, March 12th, on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Steam, and GOG.
Now, for something a bit different, let's jump right into our next game. RPG Maker MV puts the power of creation in your hands. Your games made your way, right from your own console. And we're not kidding when we say your way.
That's right. One of the coolest aspects of RPG Maker MV is the sheer number of features you have control over. In-depth character creation, themed tile sets and objects, customizable items and abilities. You can even code your own cutscenes and events.
In fact, this console release contains more than double the content and assets of the original PC version. So the possibilities really are endless. You can enjoy your dream games at home and share your adventures online in the Maker Forum for others to enjoy worldwide.
With an expansive collection of features and tools, RPG Maker MV truly is the ultimate resource for becoming a master game maker.
Hey Aaron, what kind of game would you make with all of that power?
I think I'd make an historical RPG. What about you, David?
I think I'd make a game where a monkey has to find a banana.
I'd play it. RPG Maker MV is set for release later this year. Stay tuned for more details. Moving on to our next title, we have a tale of adventure and discovery, where the only map you need is the one you create. I hope you're ready for a bit of exploring. Let's sail on to the next game. Atlas 1469 places you in command of a Portuguese trading company with the task of exploring unknown lands in order to gain wealth while revealing the true face of the world.
The key words for this game are explore and expand. In order to map out the world and obtain resources, you'll need to recruit admirals to venture into undiscovered areas to find treasures, landmarks, and more. You can also establish trade routes to gain access to new commodities.
Exploring the world is no easy task. Many dangers await on the high seas, including pirates and sea monsters. But with enough courage, perseverance, and a bit of luck, you'll be able to uncover the greatest mysteries of the world.
In fact, the true face of the world isn't just something you discover. You can actually decide what the world looks like using Admiral reports.
Admirals can explore new lands and return with reports that you can approve or disapprove. The choices you make with these reports will determine the shape of the world around you. That's a whole world of possibilities.
With its eclectic mix of history, mythology, and the spirit of adventure, Neo Atlas 1469 offers a dynamic gameplay experience that shifts and evolves in a unique way for each person who plays it. This is truly an adventure of your own design, so go forth and explore.
On top of all of that, this will be the first time ever that Neo Atlas 1469 is receiving a physical release, making it a must-have title for collectors and fans of exploration games.
Neo Atlas 1469 sets sail April 9th on Nintendo Switch, and you can pre-order your physical copy today. Now let's dust off those joysticks and stack up some quarters, because we're about to go retro. Here to take us on a nostalgic trip into the world of SNK is Frank Cifaldi from Digital Eclipse.
Hi, I'm Frank Cifaldi from Digital Eclipse, and this is SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. SNK 40th Anniversary Collection is a look back at the roots of SNK. Now, most people know SNK for their later years, their fighting games, Samurai Showdown, King of Fighters, stuff like that. Their Neo Geo era, in particular, is something we think about pretty fondly, but very few people I found take the time to actually go back to the roots of SNK and see where they came from, and that's what we wanted to accomplish in this project. So what you get in this package is a collection of 20 plus games from the earliest years of SNK, actually going back to the late 70s. Now, some of these titles people tend to remember, things like Ikari Warrior, Athena, or Psycho Soldier. But what was really unique for us on this project was being able to include titles that people don't generally remember, things like Munchmobile and Fantasy, and these bizarre games that we felt tell the story of SNK and really show, their evolution and where they came from, and kind of give you a little bit of a weirder slice of video game history than you might be used to. And we love it. We love that stuff. So a lot of the games in SNK 40th Anniversary Collection were originally arcade games, and some of these had unique control schemes that don't quite map to a normal game controller. For example, the Ikari series had what SNK called its loop lever joystick. If you've never seen one of these, it's imagine a normal joystick that you kind of tilt around to move the character, right? But in order to aim your gun in the game, you'd have to actually twist the controller in place. Your PS4 controller, your Switch, whatever, doesn't have a twistable stick. So what we actually had to do was go back and rethink how we would play these games on a modern controller. And we actually turned them into twin stick shooters, which actually makes them, to my mind, the definitive versions of these games. So this game will be available physically for the PlayStation 4, and we're happy to say that all 24 of the arcade games will be included on the disc. And if you happen to have a PS4 Pro, you can actually scale these games to 4K, which for some of these titles makes them actually appear perfectly rendered for, I believe, the first time ever. So at Digital Eclipse, we don't just put out collections of games. We actually think of these more as interactive art books, interactive history books if you prefer. And for this one in particular, what we wanted to show was the entire breadth of SNK's catalog. For a lot of reasons, we couldn't include literally every game. I think there's like 70 of them. But if you go into our museum mode, we actually go through and show you each of those games. There's screenshots. If there's any piece of promotional art or flyer, we threw it in there. Really what you're buying here is what should be this giant, thick hardcover art book of SNK history, but instead we put it on a disc and you can just use your controller to read it. And of course play the games. I hope SNK 40th Anniversary will help you think a little bit differently about video game history and about the types of games that we should look back on and remember. Some of these games, they're not necessarily titles that you might recognize and go out and buy on their own, but because they're in this collection together, I think it paints a picture of not just SNK, but what video games were in the 80s. And it's really important to us to be able to present games like this that aren't necessarily AAA blockbusters. Thank you for your time, and please enjoy SNK 40th Anniversary Collection.
Thank you, Frank, for joining us. Check out SNK 40th Anniversary Collection for PlayStation 4 on March 19th.
If you're in the mood for engaging storytelling, dynamic gameplay, and even a little bit of romance, this next title is sure to satisfy. And to help us introduce it, here is a special message from Mr. Washimi at AQUAPLUS. Check it out.
こんにちは。アクアプラスで歌われるもの散るくものへの子守歌のディレクターを務めていますわしみです。歌われるものは記憶を失い仮面をつけた謎の主人公白オロが獣の特徴を持つ仲間たちと共にその世界で一国の主となり民族抗争に巻き込まれていきます。その後世界の謎や自らの秘密を知っていきその過酷な運命が明かされていくこととなります。とても重厚なボリュームのあるストーリーとなっておりシミュレーション RPG パートは物語を大きく盛り上げてくれます。歌われるものシリーズは全3部作のストーリー構成となっておりこの散りゆくものへの子守歌は第1部にあたるものです。壮大で感動的な戦記ストーリーとなっておりますのでぜひこの機会に世界に身を投じてみてはいかがでしょうか。歌われるもの散りゆくものへの子守歌ぜひよろしくお願いします。
静かに訪れるこの歌は確かどこかですべての時を止め眠りにつく
Thank you, Mr. Washimi. This is especially exciting because this is the remake of the first title in the Utawarerumono series, never before released in North America or Europe. I absolutely love the visuals. All the characters are beautifully designed and the environments look like paintings come to life.
Yeah, I like how the greater story fits so neatly into this RPG. You get to really know the characters and the combat helps to keep up the energy and the pace. So it's really a great mix.
Utawarerumono, Prelude to the Fallen, is set for release early next year, physically on PlayStation 4 and digitally for PlayStation Vita. For our final announcement, it's time to go back to the past.
The past, Aaron?
That's right. All the way right before the year 2000.
Destiny Connect Tick-Tock Travelers is a story-centered RPG about a young girl named Sherry who gets caught up in strange events on the eve of the year 2000.
Sherry is preparing to enjoy Clockney's annual celebratory fireworks when time suddenly comes to a halt all around her.
It's up to Sherry, her friend Pegrio, and the time-traveling robot she found in her father's office to save time as they know it. Together, they'll revisit the past and peer into the future, learning some very interesting things about their families and their peculiar town.
I wonder what it'll be. Destiny Connect Tick-Tock Travelers will be released on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 this fall. We want to thank you all for tuning in today and for everyone who took part in our fan survey at the end of last year.
Oh yeah, it was really humbling to see the amount of responses that we got on this survey, so we can't express enough how much we appreciate your enthusiasm.
So a lot of really interesting perspectives were brought to light for us, and we're taking all of your suggestions into consideration. We hope you look forward to our new releases we have coming up from headquarters.
And thank you for all your support for us throughout all the years, and for helping us know what you are looking for from us as a company as a whole. And that wraps up our upcoming lineup for this year. Thank you all for joining us, and a very special thanks to our wonderful presenters for taking the time to share their games and their words with us today.
And we also want to take a moment to thank all of you for your support through 2018. We wouldn't be where we are as a company right now without you. And if you want more updates on our games, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out our YouTube page for our latest trailers. And you can find all these titles and more at nisamerica.com.
You can also sign up for our Prinny Bomb newsletter for a weekly highlight of our biggest news.
And the fun's not over yet. Stay tuned as we head back to the NIS America office with Laura and play through a few of these upcoming games right now.
Yeah, join us at twitch.tv/NISAmerica to catch all the action. The stream will start right after the conclusion of this showcase. So for all of us at NIS America, thank you so much, and see you next time, dude! Now take it away, Laura.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura. Thank you for that introduction, David. Starting out great.
You're good.
So we have a couple games we're going to stream. I'm joined here with Michelle today. So we're actually going to start with Caligula. And Michelle, you worked on Caligula, right?
I did. I was one of the editors on the top, so yes.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
And it's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, it is coming
out
tomorrow.
By the way, I was like, oh yeah, it's March 11th. Which means March 12th is tomorrow.
True.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into this. All right. Give me 1 second. So why don't you tell me a little bit about localization while I get this set up?
Yeah, sure. So the process was pretty good. It's a pretty big game. Like the game, it's JRPG with elements of like strategy and with tactics as well. And so it's a pretty full-sized game. It was for those of you who played the original game on the Vita, it's been kind of like rehashed and remade for PS4, Switch, and Steam. So we added like a lot more content. So we added a new route, we added new characters, new endings as well. And so it's a really dense game. So you can expect to spend a lot of time on it too. So all right, yeah.
So we did. Oh, she's just hovering there for a second. Oh, she's on the bench. Okay, I was like, what is she doing there? She's on the bench. So we did stream this game last week. We were going to continue from our save file. Basically, we found out that our world isn't what we thought it was. We were stuck in a different world. And we kind of got invited to the Go Home Club. And because of that, we're now on a journey to, I think we're finding Kagi P.
Yes.
He's one of the ostinato musicians. And yeah, we have all these kind of creepy high school people walking around, just like normal high school. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, classic, like, 2000s. I mean, I was in high school. I mean, it was just last year, I'm just saying. But I'm not kidding.
All right, so we have our actual people this time. We started out with only one person. So we kind of go through the combat. This contains our imaginary chain.
Yes.
Which is the main kind of way you do combat, I'd say.
Yeah, so basically the imaginary chain allows you to kind of preview what your actions might look like, and you can chain up to 3 actions per turn. So it's really cool to like combo off of like different characters who specialize in like aerial moves, ground moves, buffs, debuffs, that kind of thing. And so it's not 100% perfect. So if you notice like the hit rate at the top left, it may not always play out, but 95%. You have a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to kind of like see what your attacks might look like, and if something you try out in the chain doesn't quite work, you could always go back and like try again and again and again. So awesome. Yeah, it's really handy for those who like more of like this slower pace to see, so you can kind of like plan out like what your actions are going to be.
Yeah. I usually use it to see what the enemy's gonna do first.
That is true. That too. Yeah. So it's kind of helpful to see like, oh, you know, if an enemy like raises a shield, then it's like, oh, okay, I need to like break that shield first. Or if they try to like, you know, if they try to like run, you're like, hey, come back here, you know.
Just kidding.
So,
like especially this move that I like using, Vintage Strike, which throws enemies in the air. And it's not always guaranteed to do that, so I check first, which I'm still guaranteed to miss sometimes, but it's very possible to miss. But of course, you can combo other people's moves off of other people.
Yes.
Shogo specifically has a move where he can shoot people in the air, which does a ton of damage.
Yeah. So if you see like right there, it's pretty. Yeah, it's
and
pretty
you just
powerful.
Do an extra move just to make sure they're extra dead. Always put more moves than you need.
110%
dead. So yeah, I got it. It's nice that we got shot in the air.
But an enemy did join, and I
true.
think another one's gonna join. Yeah. So
right.
the one thing you have to really like watch out for is some enemies can actually join like mid battle. So depending on where you are on the field, they could just join in like mid fight, and so you have to be like really careful about that.
Yeah.
So as we see.
And then of course your imaginary chain starts to get desynchronized.
Yes.
As more people start finishing their moves. So it gets a little harder to combo sometimes, but you can also time out your moves. So if I move the D-pad around, I can move around Kotono's stuff, which is good for especially blocking.
Yes.
Because your shield takes like effect immediately.
Yeah.
Of course, the enemy might not be attacking immediately, so you might delay it slightly. So we're just gonna finish off some people here. Gotta get Shogo a move. Let's do this one. This one sounds right.
Yeah. Like, probably.
Yeah, sure. We're just gonna let our main protagonist there get hit a little bit. It's fine.
She'll live. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's okay. We ran out of SP. Always gotta replenish that. And just gonna, that's the only move I can do, really, so.
Right.
We can also put our NPCs on auto by hitting the options button, and they'll just kind of run a single move every time.
I love how Shogo's just like, yes!
Yeah, he's going for it. Alright, ideally, that should be off.
Perfect.
We did it.
Yay!
A victory jump from Shogo.
I mean, I wish I could do that in real life.
I know, right?
Moves,
also, let us know if you have questions about Caligula in chat.
Yes.
We'll be happy to answer those. Also, we have our mod answering some. I went the wrong way, so I'm going to go back down here.
Yeah. For RPG, yeah, it's a combination of like turn-based and strategy. Let me see. Really cool battle mechanic. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool because like again, because this is more strategy and turn-based, you can kind of like take your time with it, so you can kind of like see like what your attacks might look like, and so it's really good for like strategizing. And there's no right or wrong like party combination, so it just depends on like what you like and what you want your characters to specialize in too. So.
Oh, no, he's just gonna run.
Everyone had guns in my old school too.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like, yikes.
Alright. Cool, we did it. Yeah. So there's a lot of enemies running around. I think there's a stigma right here.
Oh yeah,
so these are stigmas you can pick up. They kind of give you little buffs. We can probably go into the menu since our menu system was redone, right?
Yes, the graphics and the UI. So both for the UI for the menu as well as for battle too. So yeah, so you can also like equip your
powerful move. I want to do that. That sounds good.
Yeah, and also as you gain skill points, I think you can also like upgrade. I think you just did that. You can also like upgrade your skills too.
Yeah, I upgraded our dual trigger. Let's see, where are the stigmas kept? Oh, here we go. Cool.
Oh, hello, RPG0601. Yes, we were on the previous stream last Thursday.
Yes.
This is the first major release you work on. Actually, no. So my first release was actually Liar Princess, which, The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, which came out last, actually exactly a month ago.
Yes.
So this is my second one. So yeah.
Nice.
Pretty
also
exciting.
A good game.
Yes.
Should definitely play that game. Very pretty art style.
Do it! I worked on it! Dang it!
So this is one of our new characters, right?
Yes. So this is, well, it's in question marks, but her name
we don't know who she is yet.
I kind of do, but
okay, yeah, we know who she is. It's fine. Yeah. We've showed her before.
Yes. So So
and she just kidding.
Yikes.
Oh wow, that light collision really knocked her down, didn't it?
That looks like it kind of hurts.
Yeah, that's fine. We got headbutted earlier in the game. It's fine.
I know. It's like it's a little, headbutts, getting kicked around. It's
it's rough high school. It's high school.
Yeah, it's high school.
People
life.
running, just screaming at your face. It's fine.
I mean, it's classic. It always happens. Uh-oh.
Poor Shoko.
Yeah,
Probably
I think he just...
Oh no! What did she do to him?
I think she just kicked him or otherwise injured him pretty badly.
Yeah, enough to knock him
and there she...
Bye.
Bye, Felicia. I didn't do anything. Bye.
Generally frowned upon in school, but this is a made-up world.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for him. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's alright, I think.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, yes, and also, I think we mentioned this earlier, but it is coming out tomorrow. So it's coming out tomorrow on PS4, Switch, and Steam. Caligula.
Yes.
So it's pretty exciting. So, yeah. I don't know if we still have any, Ellie's on our store?
Maybe our mod can check if we still have Ellie's.
Yes.
Ellie's were $64.99, I believe.
Yes.
Came a lot of cool stuff that I don't know at the top of my head.
Well, it comes with, there's a poster, there's an art book, which also contains, like, a couple of character backstories, as well as some song lyrics and a message from the director. And a CD, as well as the physical version of the game, in a really nice packaged box.
Yes.
So, yeah.
A lot of cool art in that box.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Naruko's actually leading us to Kagi-P right now.
Yes.
She claims she knows where he is.
Yeah.
And we're kind of following her around the school as she realizes she doesn't. And like, no, he's actually over here.
Yes, and both the PS4 and the Switch Ellie's are they're still in stock on the online store, so make sure you grab your copy.
Yes.
So. Let's see.
So we can also play as the male protagonist, right? One of our new things is the female protagonist, which we picked her to show her off. But essentially, it's same story either way.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that some of the anime scenes are switched because it has to like take into account you're the girl. Like I think there's one scene where it's like, hey, you have to go into the girl's bathroom.
Right, and so the guy.
If you're the guy, you don't go in. But if you're the girl, you do go in and you're added into the scene.
Yeah, as well as also a couple of the character interactions do change. So I believe that that first encounter with Ayana, I believe it does change depending on the gender of the protagonist. So yeah, so there's a lot of different like character interactions. Of course, again, as you mentioned, the story is the same, but you get to kind of see like how different characters interact with the protagonist. So it's really cool. I thought I saw a question. Will there be DLC? Yes, there is going to be some DLC. There are some stigmas that will be available, as well as a couple of costume sets too. So there's a swimsuit DLC, as well as it's like this like casual clothes outfit. It's so cool. Like I keep harping about it, but the female protagonist looks so cool in her costume. It's like this like not like a tracksuit, but it's like these like pants and like a shirt and like a blouse, and she looks so cool. She's just like, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, there is DLC.
Nice. All right. Are there any other outfits out there?
I think there's an alternate version as well of the high school outfits too. So yes. So I believe the stigmas are free, and the rest are paid.
Nice. A little bit more about Kagi-P here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, another new character.
New character as well. Yep. This is Ichi Biwasaka.
Yes.
Who Shogo is very stunned to see.
Yeah.
So I believe he is a CEO?
Yes. Is it an IT company?
Yes.
Okay.
And so you get to learn more about, as well as the new characters too. So he is like the perfect kind of like person. Like he's like intelligent, articulate, very consummate gentleman. But you also learn some kind of interesting things about him.
What's wrong with someone like with everyone in this game?
Yeah.
So that's the point of the game is to figure out what's wrong with everybody.
That is true. Yeah.
She's just taking a picture picture of him as he's like talking. Like my favorite line's like, "Oh, you're cute. I want to take a picture."
Like, oh wow. I'm like,
me?
oh, I'm like personal space. Excuse
Yeah.
me. The stigmas. Oh no. So the stigmas are basically you can equip them. So they can boost your attack, your defense, as well as some other stats too. So.
We also have we can make friends in this game, right?
Yes. So you can befriend and recruit over. Dun dun dun! 500 students in this game, and so you can actually add them to your party. They're scattered throughout the school as well as the other places, and you can talk to them. They also have traumas of their own. So I don't know if we showed off the causality link yet.
I think not this stream.
Not here.
Last stream we did.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to that.
It's like this huge interconnected basically web or map, where you can see each character has their own profile. It talks about their background a bit, and then if they have a trauma to resolve, you can see what that is. So it's either talking to them, bringing them a certain item, having them meet somebody with this other trauma as well, and then once you complete it, you can usually recruit them.
Yes.
So and you can have them fight in your party. So you aren't just limited to I think it's 10 or 12 Go Home Club members. You can kind of combine it up and kind of see what the other 500 characters do.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, just customize. So but yes, there are over 500, which is oh. Yeah.
They do have actually the Go Home Club members listed on that list too. And
Yes,
I believe
they do.
Their rewards seem like something special. If you complete their stuff, you get some nice stuff.
Yeah, so they have separate episodes. They have separate scenarios called character episodes, and they usually go pretty heavy into why they came to Mobius. So kind of to give a short backstory, all these characters came to Mobius because they had some sort of trauma in the real world, and so they came to Mobius essentially to kind of escape from that, and the Go Home Club wants to go home because they've realized that Mobius isn't real. And so as you work through these character episodes, you can see why they came to Mobius and what trauma they left behind, and it's really deep stuff. So you kind of it's very relatable to the real world.
For sure. Would you say it's kind of the same for the musicians? You get to explore into them a little bit more this time?
Yeah, so there's a new route called the musicians route, and you can join them and kind of also be on their side. And you can also complete character episodes for them too, and you also see why they want to stay in Mobius. So it's not necessarily heroes versus villains. It's more of a just kind of seeing both sides of the story.
Yes.
So
this is our causality link web.
Yes.
It's pretty big.
It's really big. I think I
keep scrolling around.
And I think you already zoomed out.
I zoomed out as much as I could. But basically, each person, this is a person that you can find somewhere. This is essentially the reward you get if you complete their trauma. You just talk to people, you become their friends.
Yes.
I think we could probably find someone to talk to who isn't an enemy because they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, so...
Ooh. Okay. We're going to...
Probably not that person.
Okay, here's some people. Some normal-looking people. We can't talk to because they have locks over their names. They don't like us when we talk to them. They have locks over their names.
I think you can talk to that person?
She's got a lock again.
She's got a lock too? Okay.
That's essentially what happens. Don't start talking to me like that. Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, and here's the tutorial on that, but we're just going to skip that. Essentially, you can check out their sub-menu, too. They have a profile, which is kind of what we were looking at before, and their status.
Sorry.
So that's kind of what you see for each Go Home member, too, when you go into the menu.
Yes.
But yeah, we are going to keep going through the story. There's many other areas, too, not just the high school. We have a lot of, there's 2 new areas, right?
Yes, so there's a new temple and as well as a hot springs kind of area. They're both really pretty. The hot springs has really cool shades purple, red, and it's really pretty. So yeah, there's a lot of new content here. That's really exciting. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to you all playing it tomorrow.
All right. So let's see. We went to the first floor. Look at us. Going through high school.
I know. All over again. It was just yesterday, man.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. There we go.
Oh, there was a save point.
Naruko being suspicious.
Yeah. She's like,
Did you hear something? Was that a camera click? Naruko, what are you
there she
doing? Alright, I think we're going to wrap up Caligula here. I'm going to switch us back over to our what I call Big Head stream.
Like, this is that big. That's kidding.
All right. So thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on and talking about Caligula.
Thank you for having me.
We have several more games coming up. I think we have Travis over here who's going to switch out with you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like lightly push you over.
Like,
No.
I'm just kidding.
But thank you for coming on and telling us more about Caligula.
Yes.
It is coming out tomorrow. Be sure to pick it up if you are interested in the game. And yeah, it's on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Steam.
So yeah,
take
hope
your
you guys
pick.
play it. So, yeah.
All right.
Have fun.
See ya.
All right.
All right. So we have Travis here.
I am here.
We're here. He's got the cool hat that we saw earlier. Unfortunately, not the sweatshirt too, but you know.
Got the shirt.
The shirt. That's true. The shirt. So next we're gonna play SNK 40th. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
So SNK 40th is actually one of my favorite titles that we've had a chance to work on. We work with both SNK and Digital Eclipse to sort of find the real objective here was to create a collection that was emblematic of the 80s and SNK. And for people who may not remember or may associate SNK primarily with Neo Geo, there was a whole over a decade before the Neo Geo came out that the SNK was already like dominating the arcades in. And so what they've done is they've collected a lot of the loop lever games into one collection, along with a incredible museum mode that sort of catalogs. It's basically the most comprehensive catalog of titles of the time period.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna switch us over to SNK 40th.
Got SNK all over the place.
Oh yeah. Gonna do a real quick thing. All right. And we should be good to go.
Great.
So, what do you want to check out first, I guess is the question.
So let's go into the arcade real quick.
Yes.
So let's just take a look at this main screen right now. The inspiration here was sort of like Netflix. It really was. So what you'll see here is when you hold it down, this is actually what's playing right now is a random clip from the full playthrough. So every game that you have has multiple options, whether you want to play it in the arcade version or the console version where appropriate, also the US and Japanese versions of the game where there's slight differences in each one. We wanted to make sure that each title had the most complete experience possible. So what you can also do in addition to playing the game, save, or either starting a new game or continuing from a previous save, is you can watch the game. So let's actually just take a look at Ikari 3 here.
Sure.
And go into arcade watch mode.
Watch mode, my favorite.
So this is kind of interesting. This is a full playthrough of the title. It's kind of a task run, which is a tool-assisted run. So it's kind of like a speed run. It's like a 1 credit, it's a 1 CC clear. And so we can actually watch the whole thing, or we can zoom around, we can fast forward to different scenes. Now, anywhere that we want to, while we're in here, this is a brand new feature that hasn't been seen in basically any other previous title. We can substitute ourselves in and start playing from that very moment.
Yes, start playing.
So if we select start playing, immediately you are now controlling the character in the center there, right?
Yes.
So this is, you can do this anywhere in the game for most of the games that are included in here. When we originally did the Switch version, we had most of the games launch at start, and then we added additional titles afterwards. All those titles are in here from the very beginning. Not all of them have that watch functionality, so it's for most of them. One of the cool things I know you're doing right now is this is a game that was played with one of the loop lever controllers.
Yes.
And that was something that, to explain it to people out there, basically it's a joystick that you can twist. And so it acts almost like 2 joysticks because you can move around with the joystick and then twist to change the direction of where you're going. I see you're making good use of the rewind
like,
function.
Smacked around here.
Yeah,
you
can't get completely outmaneuvered there like that. So what you would do is you would move the character around, and then wherever you wanted to face, you would then twist the loop lever, and then that would allow you to get that 8-directional movement going, right? So obviously can't twist I would not recommend twisting your Switch controller or your PlayStation 4 controller. So Digital Eclipse developed twin stick controls for all the loop lever games, which makes it basically the most playable version of these titles. So this is something that people really, really are familiar with. Ikari is pretty famous within SNK fans, historians, etc. We have a lot more than just the famous ones. So if we can back out here.
Yes, for sure.
Go back to that main page. A lot of people associate this with SNK. There's a really famous stuff like Chrysalis. This is the only other release of Chrysalis outside of the NES version, which is really great. There was actually a lot more work that went into making this one happen because Chrysalis, as people may know, there's certain titles on the NES that had custom chips or firmware or things that made like emulation a little bit more trickier. Mm-hmm. That was the case here. Yeah. So let's just take a look at Chrysalis really quickly.
All right.
We have these nice sidebars here. There are a lot of options per title, so depending on how you want to see it, we can see it like this, or we can go into the options and we can adjust things like whether or not we want to see the side, whether you want it squished in or stretched out, or scan lines on them. We made sure that all the standard features are available. Same thing with like the save states and the rewind feature, but there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes on this one. In most cases, wherever possible, Digital Eclipse used the PCB boards for the arcade titles. What that is that it's the original. Basically, instead of inserting a cart, you'd have that whole entire PCB board would be the operating whole BIOS inside the arcade machine, and they were able to locate a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them for these titles, and so that this is basically sort of as perfect as you can get.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna hit a standard.
So this is really cool because people may have seen it from the other stuff. It's kind of like Zelda, but it's also futuristic. So it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where magic has reclaimed. So there's a lot of like different themes coming together. This is sort of unusual for a company that was really preferably known for like arcade titles before, and a lot of shooters, and even then dipping into like fighting genres and a lot of vertical scrollers as well.
I don't have any money, so I'm gonna have to leave.
So yeah, you can talk to the NPCs, you can go into the world. There's like a whole quest system, magic system, equipment system. Like it's really you can really sort of dig in on this one. It's the only real like non-arcade title on the collection, but it just shows another. The idea was to get this whole entire idea of SNK. How do we take those first 12 years from 1978 to 1990 and we smash them together, and like, how do I get one big picture look at that?
So got the sword. Cool.
There were also some edits made to certain games. This isn't, before people get out there, it isn't anything to the content or anything like that. These games were launched as is in a time before things like patches didn't exist. So let's take, for instance, Sasuke vs. Commander. Sasuke vs. Commander is like a crazy game, but it was never originally completable. There was a bug that did not allow the game to be you couldn't finish it. No matter what you did, you couldn't finish it. And Digital Eclipse went in and they fixed that bug. And for the first time ever, Sasuke vs. Commander is actually completable. So it's incredible little changes like that that show what lengths were taken to make this game the best version of these titles.
Just gonna rewind because I don't like death. There we go.
So let's actually go take a look at Sasuke vs. Commander real quick. Part of what I would call sort of SNK's weirder side. So there was something that was important to Fantasy's another one where that Munch Mobile, yeah, Paddle Mania. These are sort of not really well-known titles. Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Those just high-def ninjas.
So one of the more incredible things about this is, you know, SNK used the arcades in the 80s as sort of a experimental platform. And a lot of these things, this may be the very first game to ever include boss fights. Before then, the concept of a boss fight was not something that was inherent to the design of a title, right? I believe Vanguard is another title in which it has an entire part of the very beginning dedicated to telling people how continues work. Because before then, people didn't know what a continue would be. Because basically, you just finish the game and then the game would be over. Like you would put the like there was no continuing from where you were, from where you died last.
Just insert next quarter. Alright, just dodging.
Hello, Sasuke.
Shurikens and bodies.
I like his skin tone pants, it looks like.
Well, is he wearing pants or is that just his legs?
Is it just legs?
It could be just legs.
Just could just be legs.
Skin tone pants sounds just worse. Alright, let's take out these green guys.
So this title is also available for Switch. We're talking about the PlayStation 4 version of it today. Doesn't look like we'll be able to get to the boss fight in time. Can we back out and just take another good look at the museum mode?
Yes, museum mode.
So you have all these. You have 24 titles in the arcade, but then you also have the museum mode. And so, as we mentioned before, this is 1978 through 1990, and it basically chronicles every title that was released, as far as we could tell, in that time. All this stuff is scalable for 4K, which is really nice on PlayStation 4. There's a lot of really nice details put into this. So this part here, Brandon Sheffield went to Japan to research and talk with the creators and the arcade owners and the other historians, and collected a lot of explainer into this. The idea is the same as you guys probably saw with Frank's part, where he talked about he wanted this to be an interactable version of like a really nice coffee table book, like a historical collection of all these things. And so, in addition to whatever screenshots they could get and you know, the other details, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Let's back out of Sasuke and go to like Ikari.
Let's see, what time period was that? Oh, Ikari Warriors, or you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of marketing materials from the time. So these were the various different pamphlets and posters that would go out to arcades. In addition, I think later on in here we have the zines, essentially the official zines that would come out from SNK to special people who had subscribed to the fan club.
A lot of screenshots.
A lot of screenshots of this one. That American cabinet. Big difference in people who don't know, but like the American cabinets were almost always stand up and the Japanese cabinets were almost always sit down.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh no.
I love this concept art. It speaks to me in a deep way.
He's throwing a grenade and shooting with a tank. A lot of good art though.
A lot of really good art. So Athena for sure, we can see that.
Yeah. There's the bikini everyone wanted.
There's the bikini everybody wanted. I got it out there.
Yeah, close up
just
a
like
little
I
bit,
asked
too.
for. I see you, Twitch chat.
Alright, let's flip through this, see what we can find. I like the screenshot of her just kicking him.
Mm-hmm.
In the bikini too.
So the game is out on March 19th. We still have limited edition versions of the game available on our official store page.
Let's see. Oh, there she is again.
Little cut from KOF 97. So that'd be across the top of the thing there. Oh, the stickers. Yeah. Oh, okay. So go back out. So what we have here is like the official stuff, and then we have bonus features. That's what it was.
Okay.
So we have a lot of bonus features of, I love these, the VGL and the arcade guidebooks.
Yes.
So these were the guidebooks that would go out and in publication and have the comics and the different breakdowns of what everything in the item does, so that the arcade managers would know how best to help people out, really. They also allowed this for people who would be subscribed. That's the VGL. A lot of this stuff is really kind of rare. They spent a lot of time having to get a lot of this. Wasn't really readily available and came from a lot of collections. The comment I kept getting was if we had tried to do an SNK 45th anniversary collection, a lot of this wouldn't have existed anymore.
Yeah.
So this really is like a time capsule in a way that kind of quietly in the background of the industry has been progressing things forward, but people don't really remember. And it's really, really great that we had a chance to be able to bring this out and get a lot of these lost things kind of back out there. I want to point out one thing at the top here. For the Chrysalis concept art. So this is actually never before seen. The artist for Chrysalis, aka Godslayer, produced this for the game, and it was sort of lost. And we met with her, or rather SNK met with, or sorry, Digital Eclipse met with her and was able to recover these items. So this is like the first time this has really ever been seen. And we have a couple of different other small things like that, like Tangram Q, the never released game, of which there is so little. But yeah, thanks so much everybody for letting me come in and kind of bombard the stream and show everybody out SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, out March 19th for PS4.
Yes.
We really hope you guys enjoy it. If you're an arcade junkie like me, it's a must-have.
For sure. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about SNK 40th. We actually have the Princess Guide up next. So I'm going to swap you out for someone else now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so stay tuned for that. Cool.
Thanks everybody so much. Please continue to check out these titles.
For sure. Welcome. All right. So
hello
for
there.
Princess Guide, I have John here who actually worked on the game. Why don't you tell us what you did?
So I was the editor for Princess Guide. What we basically do for localization is we take the Japanese text and then we translate it into English, so we try to give the characters a voice that was intended from the Japanese version.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna get that loaded up real quick. I guess start off, do you have a favorite princess?
Favorite princess? So for those of you guys who don't know, there's 4 unique princesses. They kind of range from how funny they are, what kind of stories they are, their personalities. They're very different. So my personal favorite of the 4 is Veronica. So she's like a she's like a crazy tyrant mage. Her personality is she's really smart, she's really efficient, she's a great leader, but she's also tremendously snarky, sarcastic, and she just has a lot of personality. The characters in her story are really unique and funny as well. So while the other characters have a lot of weight, with a mix of comical relief, she's mostly kind of a comic relief character.
Yeah. I think Mr. Takano also said that Veronica was his favorite.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it's my favorite too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, people have a lot of fun with her. She's
probably
really
gonna
fun
pick
to play as well.
Veronica. Yeah. So I skipped the tutorial there. Basically, you're a knight, right? Started as a knight, and this guy kind of like.
Yeah.
You hesitated.
Yeah. So the instructor is you, the player. So you can customize your character. You'll see in a moment. But the story basically begins as you are a very high-ranking, very renowned soldier, and your senior officers like, well, the world is too small for you to just work for one country or be a mercenary. So he lets you go, and he recommends that you become an instructor, which will allow you to bestow your knowledge and skills, whether it's combat or just intelligence, onto someone else. Because you kind of compete, right?
Yeah.
So, right here, you're going to basically pick a princess to train.
His dialogue, and I think this is where we kind of contemplate. This is what we're gonna do. I believe he writes books, or she. You can actually pick if it's a she.
Yeah. So you can pick your gender.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you write books, and that's kind of just the justification for having a really big diary. So you have like kind of like a compendium or encyclopedia of things that you learn on your journey, and that's a really cool part because it embodies the voice of the protagonist, the player. And it's interesting because you can pick, once you do this part here, you can pick your personality, and that influences a lot of things, not just dialogue, but the way that the diary is written. So if you're serious, honest, your diary will be written in a way that's very sincere and straightforward.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pick another one, it would be that way. So I encourage you guys to look at it, see the personalities, and play the ones. There's some pretty funny ones, funny personalities as well.
So we're gonna start with Veronica. Her combat style is actually my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Just why I like picking her, but she's also pretty funny.
Right. Yeah, she's fast, but she also has a lot of like AoE huge area attacks that are really helpful for dealing with mobs.
She's got like a slow charge, sort of, I'd say, like with ghosts flying around her, and it just annihilates people in a lane. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Veronica's story starts, basically she kidnaps the instructor. So the instructor is really famous at this point, but while the other princesses will take more of a subtle approach, like they'll ask, they'll request his help, she just straight up kidnaps him. This suspicious man is one of her lackeys here.
Yes, she's the Rusty Magic Guild leader, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the guild, and she's basically the dictator. So in the mage world, how they determine who's the leader is simply by who's the strongest. So they have tournaments, and it's just they just give the position of leader to whoever beats as many opponents. So Veronica just happens to be the strongest mage.
She has a habit of turning people into frogs.
Yeah, she has a bad habit of turning people into frogs.
Yeah, it happens multiple times. It's not great for some frogs.
Yep.
So they also have the praise scold system, which we might see coming up in one of these dialogues.
Right. So praise scold is a very integral part of story and gameplay. So it kind of links the two, progression and kind of a long-term narrative. So at certain points of the game, you'll get a choice. So the choice isn't like normal RPGs where you pick one of several options. It's always going to be praise or scold because that's your instructor, right? It's just kind of your style of teaching. And depending on what they say, you can choose to either reward them or you can scold them. And depending on the princess, it might be a better or not so good of a response to them. And if you do more positive responses that are good for that princess, then you'll get more rewards in terms of progression. So you actually get items, you'll actually unlock skills for them that will benefit them in the long run, that'll affect gameplay.
So we're off to the dispatching part. So what's interesting is that there's actually cooldowns on your commanders, right?
Yeah, so this is the main map. It's kind of like a war map type thing where each of those nodes, the blue ones, the red ones also that represent enemies, they're like chess pieces. So when they touch each other or when you go to certain nodes like a mission or a battle node, you'll be able to start battle. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of things like cooldowns, there's real time, so there's a clock on the top left, I think I saw it earlier, but you have to think tactically about how to allocate your characters in the best routes so that you don't spend too much time doing it, otherwise you'll fail.
Alright, so we're about to go. I think we're dealing with some mages?
Yeah, so Veronica's story is always dealing with mages, whether they're good mages or there's a mutiny somewhere that she has to relentlessly crush. But yeah, lots of mages, and I think there are a lot of zombies and monsters.
Yeah, slimes.
Yeah, so her story is really funny. It's mostly contained within herself. She doesn't like to deal with the other princesses too much.
Yeah.
She's kind of a recluse in that sense. So there's a lot of issues that she tries to resolve in her own kingdom because everything's chaos, it's anarchy in the mage world. So she's got a lot to do with on her own.
We also have our like squadron here. Who do actually attack with us. Really good at stunning people, just combat ping.
Yeah.
But I believe you can also customize them if you go into commander menu.
Right. So your soldiers, those 6 guys that are following you, they can be customized, and they're also different. So they have several attacks that can help you do. They have like regular attacks. They have the strong attacks that use a resource. And, there's a lot of different kinds. So the ones that you just saw were mage type, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds. Flying ones to like tank ones to. There's one that's like a huge mech. Instead of getting 2, you get 1.
Yeah.
So it's more heavy.
I noticed when I used a smaller, it was actually like a monster too that you actually fight.
Oh yeah,
they gave me a bunch of them, like 3 each, and I was like, Oh, wow, I've got like 9 of these guys following me around.
Yeah, there's the small ones as well that have more. There's a lot of customization when it comes to the soldiers, and they play a really big part. They're used for a lot of things. Like if you don't have soldiers, if you run out of them, they can die in battle. So if they get hit too much, they'll take damage for you. So if you position yourself in a way that they take damage instead of you, they can die.
They can.
Yeah, and when they die though, there's a lot of things that you won't be able to do. You won't be able to use some abilities. You can't occupy relics, and a lot more than that.
So there's also a pretty cool fin combat too, which I meant to show off, but I didn't. Maybe we'll get to show off after she's done talking. Because I know I've actually used it to save myself when I died. I believe if you hit it quick enough, you can resurrect yourself, which if you're only for the princess though, because you don't get praise gold, that's the knight.
Exactly.
There's some interesting ways you can use the praise gold mechanic.
Right. Praise gold doesn't have just an effect on story, but you can also use it. So here's a story praise gold. So it's really good to pay attention to what the princess is thinking or how she is to affect whether or not you praise her gold. But yeah, in battle, if you use it, you can use it anytime in battle. I think it's up to 3 times that you can use in battle. But it'll give you certain buffs. So if you use it in certain situations, like if you're you're about to faint and you use it, you might be able to get health or you can revive. If you use it while you're moving a lot, you'll get like a movement speed boost.
Yes. I know I use it for health a lot.
Yeah.
That's like my main use for the praise gold is, oh no, I'm low on health.
Right. The game gets really difficult really quickly, so it's really important to, I guess my advice is to try out a lot of things. There's a whole lot of customization. There's 4 princesses, and even in one playthrough you'll be able to play multiple princesses, get a glimpse into them, and after a certain point you can pick another princess and continue with her. So don't think that you're locked into any princess or any kind of play style. There's a lot of weapons also that you can drop and you can customize your character with. Those don't just give you stat boosts, but they change your skills as well. So, you know, the gameplay is kind of like a simple arcade beat 'em up type thing. But there's a lot of depth and customization to it as well.
So no, right after I withdrew the princess, that's when her cooldown starts. But I want to show off the princess, so I'm speeding up time there. These are the relics, actually. We haven't talked about those.
Yeah, so I don't know if any of you guys have played Punch Princess, but the relics are traps, and they kind of share the same mechanic from that game. You can claim them, so they're neutral, and thematically they're kind of remnants from an ancient civilization. So if you claim them, you can use it. So if you press circle right here, it'll do it at the top.
Slime.
Yeah, there's a lot of relics. So there are ones that do damage, ones that heal you, ones that snare them, and ones that like rotating wheels of death. They vary quite a bit. So she just scolded her right here. Yeah. Veronica.
We won that battle.
Yeah, so it gets hard real quick. So like a lot of RPGs, they starts out pretty easy, where you just kind of kill things in one hit.
Yeah.
But it gets hard really, really quick. So that's when you have to start pay attention to all the different customization things, the praise and scold.
Scold her just because I skipped a lot of dialogue. It always, if you skip dialogue, it pauses on praise scold because that's a mechanic you have to do before you skip the rest of the dialogue.
Exactly.
Alright, I'm gonna skip just so we can get to some combat again. Alright, let's move her over.
There you go. As you guys can see, the clock is on the top left there. That's all real time, so you can fast forward time, but as your characters are moving from node to node, it takes time.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you can utilize your other commanders. So as you can see here, you're playing as a princess, as Veronica, but you can also play as an instructor, and you can also recruit additional commanders to help you. They all have their own unique skill sets, and obviously Veronica is more of like a ranged area attacker, while the instructor is a sword user. So you get really a mix of gameplay, and you you can allocate those characters and those squads everywhere else on the map as well. So if you have mission that wants you to go to 2 different places on the map, you can send 3 characters. And then obviously that gets a lot more complex when you have 3, 5, 6 squads. Yeah, so yeah, the tactical element is really dominant.
I think this specific artifact is at lower defense. Or
this one is health.
Health. Okay. All right. So we're gonna wrap up here with Princess Guide and move on to our next game. As soon as that thing switches. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, John, for joining. He'll actually be back in a little bit for another game. So stick around for that. Next up, we're gonna have RPG Maker MV. So we'll see kind of what we can do with that in a couple 15 minutes. But yeah, thank you again. Cool. So okay, I'm a little okay. I'm gonna be joined by Chris, I guess, who's doing a strange way of entering his chair. Anyways, so RPG Maker MV. That's what we're doing next.
That's why I came in here, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why you came here.
Summoned by the game. Okay,
so once we get that up, we'll run through a couple stuff. We'll be playing it on the PS4. It is also going to be available on Nintendo Switch.
Yes. The cool thing is you get to connect a keyboard to the console.
Yes, so you don't, we did see in chat someone saying, typing dialogue with a controller, not great. You do get to connect a keyboard to the PS4, and you can use it to type dialogue. It's a lot faster. Yeah. I have typed a lot of dialogue with a controller, so it's not fun. Yeah. I should probably plug in the keyboard, just so we can do that.
Yeah. But so what are you checking out? Was there a thing that we built during?
We did have a thing that we built. I found it.
I'm gonna be able to see.
Yes, you should be able to see this.
The PAX South one.
It is the PAX South one. Sunday. Did you plug it in? Okay.
Let's see.
Gonna do a quick check on if. Get that plugged in again. I'm gonna switch back to big head mode for a second while we get that figured out. That?
Printies?
The printies?
Yeah. I was pointing at the logo, but it changed. Like, what's this magic?
Yeah, this magic. Well, I like the printies that we have at the bottom, because if you like lean down, it looks like it's picking your nose, but that's just me. You patting the printy. Alright, getting stuff set up real quick. The build, or the stuff that we actually saw in the showcase, where purple-haired girl was running around with our little errand quest.
Oh yeah.
That's
I remember hearing about this.
Yes. All right. Now we're set up. Okay, we got it. We did it.
We all did it.
Yeah. Each one of us equally did it. Yeah. Okay. So.
Thank you, people in chat, for things. Pleasure to have you here. Help us.
We have a lot of PAX South builds, but I'm gonna go to this one, which I'm glad I saved it. I honestly didn't know if I did.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna go straight into the editor. We'll go over a couple things. Let us know if you have any questions about RPG Maker.
And I say pro tip, back up all of your saves
in
multiple locations.
Always back up your saves.
But when really far away, just so you don't save over everything, you have to like redo.
Oh yeah, never have to replay the game again. So this is our editor. We took this build to PAX South. We kind of...
Thank you. I was about to comment.
I know, it was bothering me. I was like, oh no. So we kind of created a little map that people could do. It's essentially, we'll run through it. We're not going to save and play test because we never like saving too.
Yeah.
We're just going to straight up play this. But yeah, we created a couple different areas you could go into. Essentially, you're going to PAX South, and we had that at PAX South.
So this is the San Antonio Convention Center?
Yes, the San Antonio Convention Center. We are currently standing in the U.S., I think.
Yeah. If our start location is where we left it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, yeah, so this is our US map.
Hey,
and
well,
this
it's
is
a new protagonist.
Oh yeah, sorry, I changed it.
It's okay. Much cooler with the white hair.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the kid that walks in front of the doors and doesn't go in.
He just blocks it. I think we created all these maps. They do have preloaded maps, but we were specifically creating it. You made it so we can't run in this hole, and I hate it.
I mean, are you really allowed to run in the convention center?
You can run in the actual hall though. You didn't turn that off. So.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is they like gate you off at the convention center. Then they're like, all right, doors open.
Yeah.
And then you rush in to get to your favorite booth so you get to buy everything before they sell out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep that realistic. That was why I decided to not allow running.
Yeah. Well, too bad. We can run in here.
Yeah.
Also,
there are various threats that just running all over the tables.
Yeah, just whoops.
Yeah.
I added more to our hall originally. So all these people were actually people created. I said people a lot in that sentence.
Yeah, characters.
Characters that people created within PAX South. So people came along, were like, hey, you guys want to create a character? We can walk you through it.
So these are all OCs.
Yeah, so we had a couple people come in.
Chun-Li.
Someone created. We had a couple standees for our Talks Free.
Yeah, we
thing
should
going
have had
on.
stepping off.
we were messing around. It was pretty fun. This is our Mew character.
Oh, man. This brings back so many memories. It was really cool being at PAX South.
Oh yeah,
interacting with all of our
my
fans.
favorite guy right here.
People that dropped by.
They made me turn him off, so I still let him be in this.
Yeah, kind of like curbed his enthusiasm a little bit.
So yeah, this is our little errand quest that we ran during the stream. Let's actually go to the editor because we can pull up kind of some of the cool stuff you can do. We can take a look at the events
behind the scenes. Pulling back the curtains a little bit.
See how I didn't fully program everything. I just kind of like
it's good.
half did it, and then it's only footage. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so basically we can move around to different menus using one of our buttons. The editor tools are up at the top. We have our main menu where we can scroll around and mess with our tiles. If we hit one of our triggers, we can go to event mode, which is where all our characters are listed. Tile sets, flip through those, and place any of those we want. So I like this bust. And then I gotta actually switch out of that, and then this bust.
So tile editing is for drawing on the world, and then the event editor is for changing how the world interacts with the player.
Yes. So let's take a look at Erin real quick.
This is gonna get really personal really fast.
Oh, she's coming on later, so we'll see. So this is the basic event editor. You have your image that you place. She doesn't move, basically. I did actually give her a speed because she moves later.
She's not stepping?
She's not. Do you want me to make her stepping?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
stepping.
That's what makes her different from a standee. Otherwise, she's just kind of like a semi-lifeless entity in our PAX South hall.
But this is the basic editor that we have with our event creation system. There's no hard coding, it's all drag and drop code. But we can go into this and we can edit anything we want. Let's edit that. And let's say we want to change this. We're going to do this with the keyboard because keyboards are amazing.
Yeah.
Basically just asking like...
Oh yeah, sure, we've got time.
Bring him to me. Please. Cool. And that's our new text. I put 2 G's, but I don't care. And yeah, you can flip through different, I guess, event screens. You're not, stuck with just this one.
Yeah, so you could have different...
there we go. So this is her screen for after you find David. We didn't show it in the showcase, but
so it looks like you escort him to Erin because he joins your party.
He starts following you, and then you have to remove him. So yeah, and basically what happens is I just was like I'm gonna be lazy, make her move right like a million times.
Yeah, just like stage right.
She just runs.
Just leave.
So we could actually show that off. I'm gonna discard those changes. We'll run it really quickly in our play system.
Yeah. There was a time in an earlier version of RPG Maker where I forgot to turn the character off, and so they join your party and it's like, hey, and then there's still no world. It's like, wait, there are 2 of you now.
Oh no. Well, see, you can see David is there too, but he doesn't exist there when we go into the game. So I'm like, well, I have to like him there, so he just appears there. But yeah, it's a lot of trial and error in this game.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Preliminary bug testing.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we set up an inn here too.
I didn't realize how quickly that kid checks for traffic. He just spins around.
So it's a lot of weird things. I put money in here because I was like, oh, how do I put money on a character? Oh, let's just put a chest. This was from a previous thing that we were doing. Involved buying meat and tofu.
Certain characters enjoy those items.
Yeah, certain characters don't enjoy those items. I think this guy actually still gives me something if I.
Oh, he gives you the skill?
I think he does. Okay, so I have to get my badge first because you can't go into the convention without the badge.
Yeah.
I want to say he still does it. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I think we could probably use that on the one person who decided that they wanted to fight.
Yeah.
We had a person create a character that if you answer wrong to their question, they will fight you. So let's go check out our errand quest real quick. Oh, these people I gotta dodge just like a regular convention.
Yeah. Alright.
Hey, Aaron. We lost David, and he has an interview to do, so we gotta go find him. Luckily, he's in the escape room.
He just couldn't escape.
No, he couldn't escape.
Too enthralled with it. Oh, he actually can't escape.
Yeah, he can't. So we have to solve this puzzle, low-key based off of some actual PAX South booths that were there. Pretty cool escape room.
Yeah.
I kind of did a simple version. I didn't have time to like do too many puzzles and stuff, so you just go talk to these chests, and they'll tell you to do things, and then you get the key. Ideally, that should open. And it was like, oh well.
It was kind of accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed the photo op at the end.
That's okay. I didn't have time for that. So we have David. He's following us. We actually added him to our party and our event system, and now other David will.
Does he have stats? Is there a bio?
No, I didn't make a bio. I just made him, and that was it. And he like appears there, which is where he was standing in the editor. And they're gonna be like fingers. So they just run. And David will run soon. I made him run faster, so
yeah, perfect.
Let's see. I think the girl who fights us is right here.
She got relocated.
Yeah, and she asked like, "Am I pretty?"
Of course you're pretty. Oh. well, of course.
So this is what she does if you fight. I think what is it? Was it a special or was it a magic? Oh, I don't have it. I might not have put it on this character. That's okay. We can fight our orc. We have some default.
It's not in our class to learn Need Explosion.
It's not in our class to learn Need Explosion. So these are the basic magic skills that you're able to do. I think we're gonna die, but that's fine. It's fine if we die. I think something happens if we do. Boy. Oh, she does a lot of damage. I didn't realize she pumped up this orc so much.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think if we die, nothing really happens.
We KO, we get a game over.
That's fine. Oh, we were defeated. It's fine. Monster hunting. A little hard. Oh, Caesar's you right. But some cool things you can do in there. We're gonna go back to editor and check out a couple stuff. Maybe go to the main menus, the editing menus that we have.
Yeah. It'd be good to show those off.
Yeah. As soon as it wants to load. A lot of things loading right now. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big convention hall.
It is a big convention hall.
We got a lot in there. Like, I'm surprised that it all fit.
Yeah. And plus I added more to it.
Yeah.
Alright. Wait for that to load up. Cool. So these are actually like all the characters that people created. There are quite a lot. But basically, we changed the classes. I think the actual people who were like the badge checkers and stuff, the ones that walk around, were called enforcers.
Yes.
And then special guest media, so you can kind of pick it. We're just messing around with some stuff. Skills. Oh, here's our leftover skills that we were doing.
Healthy flex for the secret boss.
The secret boss uses healthy flex. So you customize your own moves. For items, we had our fake badge that I ended up taking out.
Oh,
we couldn't use it.
There was the character that would sell you a counterfeit badge.
Yeah.
You tried to get in, you couldn't get in.
Yeah. So we have our tofu brick, vegans like this. Definitely the badge.
I remember there was that one kid who was really enthusiastic about like learning how to make his own RPG, and so he created this event where like, hey, what do you want? Are you hungry? He like gives you bread, and so you like get bread, and that's super good.
That was our secret boss. That was separate quest line we had to leave out. Yeah. What is Panda Zone? Some of the stuff wait.
Yeah, this is because we had that zombie pen.
Okay,
and, like, and I was making an event just in case like you got into a battle there.
Fascination. Yeah, so a lot of things you can do in here. These are all your tile sets too. There's a lot of different, I guess, packs that you can use. There's Arabian style steampunk. We have Japanese, Chinese, dark fantasy, all sorts of cool stuff.
All stock. And then
they're
going to be more on top of that as the game ages. We're going to add more DLC packs in.
Yeah. So I think real quick we'll jump over to Character Creator too, because that's pretty
randomized a couple.
How we created everyone too.
Yeah.
I forgot how many people we had, like 50?
It was a lot. Yeah. We definitely got up there.
Here's your default man. But you random.
Oh boy.
No.
It's always a bag of fun hitting that randomize button.
Oh man. Well, I think what was our favorite? The one where he had like half of his face covered with hair.
Yeah, and then it had like the eye patch, so he had like no sight at all.
Just a shout out to this game's coming out fall 2019 for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. I believe we have pre-orders up on our store for the
limited edition, also on the European store.
The guy's poor face.
Sad.
Out 2019. Out coming 2019, so expect it this year.
Yeah, Falls Fox 3.
Oh, that's true. Yes, getting our dates mixed up.
That's a big one.
Oh, the guy's just screaming. Anyways, so yeah.
Then we also have like the female. Can we check a couple?
Oh yeah, we can check the female. We can randomize some of these.
So smart.
Oh, and then there's also kids. You can make kids too.
Yay, kids!
They're. I was gonna say they're less weird looking, and then you get the guy with like the lazy eyes going. Some strange things. I think I ended up creating a waifu a couple of days ago. That's fine.
Well, everyone did.
Yeah.
And husbandos.
Yeah, husbandos, waifus, whatever you want your game to be.
If you want it to be a game, it could be a documentary. Yeah. It could be like a pop quiz.
It could be a life simulation.
Yeah. Educational interface. Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for
let
showing
me switch us back to
project
to Big Head
it's
mode.
Good checking it out with all of you. See you next time. And
yes. Thank you so much for joining.
Enjoy the rest of the streams.
Yes, I'm going to push you off stream, sort of. Surprised you didn't go back down under the table to go. Anyways,
take that warp pipe out.
We have another game coming up. We have actually Lapis X Labyrinth, joined again by John, who I believe also worked on that game.
Yep.
Why don't you tell me about Lapis X Labyrinth and what you did on it?
Okay, so I was editor for it also. A lot of the production stuff we managed QA, a lot of great things. Lapis Labyrinth is really fun. It's a fast-paced, really high-voltage action platformer with a lot of progression elements.
Yes.
So it's really easy to pick up, super satisfying to play, and the progression just keeps you coming. So it's kind of, it really emphasizes on the loot.
Yeah. It's all about that treasure.
See, it's definitely all about the loot.
Fair warning, if actually you have a problem with flashing lights and stuff, there is a lot of flashing things in this game and a lot of bright images coming at you. But it is very satisfying. Like, it fulfills a need. Alright, so let's switch us over to LXL. Alright, do a real quick swap here. So I think we have a couple different areas we can show off if I remember what save file we have. Oh, yes, we do. I was playing it a lot.
Oh,
yeah. So we're going to show off a couple different maps. We mainly show off the forest usually, but first off we're going to go to character selection. Just randomly fell and I was like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
So I believe I can recruit people. See, these are all your characters.
Yep. There are 8 character classes in total, and they would range from range to melee, magic, to support, healing, all kinds of good stuff.
Right, see, and when you create one too, you actually change the hair colors.
Good choice.
And then they do have a slightly different hairstyle sometimes. That one's cute. I like that. And then you can also change their voices and then listen to them.
Right.
If we wanted her to have a man voice, I believe that's an option.
Yep.
So that's our new maid. We're actually going to accept a quest. So why don't we default to maybe like the desert area first? I know we've seen a lot of the forest in general on the videos and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we'll go default.
There's 13 different areas.
Oh,
13
nice.
different areas. So it does take quite some time to get to them, depending on how well you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Do you have a favorite character you want to add to our stack? Our
yeah, it's definitely gonna be the maid.
Okay. I grabbed our new maid. Yeah, the maid.
That's why I said good choice. Yeah, she's.
All right, I'm gonna grab
cute.
Destroyer too, just because he annihilates everything. Necromancer's pretty cool. And I really like the witch, because she has like this cat face she does sometimes. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's good to pay attention to the little subtleties of the sprites in this game, because everything is hand-drawn, and it's vector art, so it's really good. It's really awesome to look at. They put a lot of attention to the little details.
Yeah, so we're gonna equip our guys a little bit here. Kind of just picking some random stuff. We're a little OP right now, but that's fine.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, there's different slots, weapon, armor, artifact.
Yeah.
For each of the characters, and all the stats add up. So if you have 100 attack on each of the weapons that you equip on each character, that adds up to 400 overall attack that you'll be able to dish out for all the characters.
Yeah.
So you don't have to necessarily pay attention to which character gets which item, as much as you want to look at the overall stats.
Yes. This guy's actually like my favorite for some reason. His lift cat. He's just there and he's just like, oh, you go into the labyrinth.
Yeah, so for story we had a lot of wiggle room in terms of how zany and crazy we can make it, because clearly how much you can see here, how crazy things look. Yeah.
Like
everything's
my favorite
really
move for the
stylistic.
maid is just holding triangle, and she just flings food.
Yeah.
She just keeps doing it.
Yeah, she's so cute when she does it too. Yeah, she's an awesome character because in the beginning of the game you don't find too much value in her. Like her attacks don't have too much range. She doesn't do a lot of damage, but she specializes in debuffs, so all of her attacks make the enemy more susceptible to damage. So you can get really technical with her and switch her out. You know, like hit an enemy and switch her out with another character. So the basic controls that Laura is doing is mostly the combos on the regular attacks, but you have the special attacks as well that you can combine with directional inputs to do different special attacks. So the witch has a fireball when you do side and special. That one's the up special, which summons like a tornado. So there's no, there's no cooldown or anything for this. Oh, that's the regular shield. Yeah, the cat face.
It's adorable. They all have like some like strange face, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just like one of their moves gives them a really weird expression.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so I think we're actually kind of the treasure chest on the top sometimes. Like if you lose all your people, you turn into the treasure chest and you just kind of wait for death unless you can get one of your guys back.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, there's 4 characters, and then there's a tiny treasure chest on top. That's gonna be called the treasure kit. So the unique thing about death in this game is that when you lose all your characters, they just kind of leave the party, right? You can revive them, but if you end up losing all of them, you'll play as the treasure kit, and you have to escape. If you can escape and press the triangle button and hold it down for enough time, that it'll give you like a second win and you'll revive a little bit of HP. I think it's a very small amount, but it'll give you a chance to go around and get out of the battle.
Yeah, unless you get hit.
Yeah,
then you
still
just
get
gonna
hit.
die.
Yeah, if you get hit as a treasure kit, you'll just die.
Yeah, it's not too bad starting over though. These levels are like, they have a timer at the top, which is about at most 4 minutes-ish.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So if the timer runs out in this game, you don't just die and it doesn't say game over.
Yeah.
What'll happen is this huge ghost, this phantom
I don't like
comes
him.
out. Yeah, he's super scary and he just follows you, and you can run away.
Oh, it doesn't
But
work.
yeah, so technically in that sense there's no time limit. You can run away, but it's really scary because if he even touches you once, you just instantly lose.
He also tends to appear right in front. Like he doesn't just chase you, he appears.
Oh yeah, he can teleport around.
Yeah.
And you can try to juke him, but
It's always right in front of you.
and he's huge. He takes up like a quarter of the screen too, so it's really hard to just go around him.
I think one time I saw the exit and I jumped for it right when he appeared right above the exit and I lost. And I was like, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, he's a little bit unpredictable in that sense too. Yeah, so Utawarerumono is really cool to see. If you can't see.
Yeah, you lose sight of your character a lot. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like it's like a star mode where you become invincible and you get these gems. The gems on the bottom right, you're collecting them and they'll give you buffs or items that'll last for the remainder of the level. So really good for longer levels. It's really important to get those because those buffs make a huge difference. Those purple crystals on the top left, those are kind of like your special ability resource. So every time you use a special ability, it'll use one of the purple crystals. So there's no cooldown, it's just that. And one of the buffs makes it so you have more purple crystals, and it makes a really huge difference.
So many Fever things going on right now.
Oh yeah, you can do a lot of things with Fever. Every time you hit one of these blocks, it'll give you gems. Every time you hit enemies, it'll give you gems.
Oh, just reset too,
Yeah,
hit the Fever
so
button.
yeah, if you kill enough enemies, it'll just keep charging the Fever bar. So after you end it, if there are enough things to hit, you can just keep continuing it. So
See if we can get an assist going too. Do have our full meter. Oh, just everything exploding.
Yep. You see their combo attacks as well. You can either throw them out individually,
Oh yeah, you throw them
or you
out.
can use the EX bar on the top left to throw them all out. And the EX bar charges over time, but there are a lot of weapons that either influence how fast it goes or even take it out. So Laura's actually using a weapon ability right now that removes some of the EX bar on every regular hit so that she can deal more damage with the regular combos.
And Destroyer already does so much damage.
Right. So there are definitely a lot of like double-edged abilities like that in the game.
Oh gosh, I don't know what's happening.
Destroyer is really cool because he has a huge amount of range with all of his attacks around him. So if there's a lot of enemies nearby, it's great. But his range is not that good. So, I mean, his speed is not that good. Yeah, that's it.
Oh no, before I can hit it. Oh well. Yeah, and then we have the arrow that shows us our exit. Which is really good because I get super lost in this game.
Yeah, it's good to have the arrows. So in order to go to the end of the stage, you have to have that purple bar on the bottom filled up all the way, and in order to do that, you have to hit those purple crystals. So you can't complete the level unless you do it. But the levels are all, they're not randomly generated, so it does really want you to do a lot of speedruns. So you will be playing a lot of levels over again, but there are a lot of secrets in each level. The more treasures you get, the more combos you get in each level, it'll influence in the end how much treasure you get. So you'll be able to see here in a second yeah, but that treasure point's on the top right there. The more combos you get, the less you get hit. That all is it. So she got an S here. She's got 4 keys. Okay, so right. So since her grade is an S, she got 4 keys. If it's lower, it'll be fewer. Obviously, you can go to 1. You can go up to 8, I think, with a triple S.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
A little bit more characters.
Right.
While we still have some time.
And each of those keys will unlock you chests. Some chests might cost more, but those are more rare chests and they'll give you better items in general.
Some quick, I can sort these too, which is kind of nice. Sort of rarity. Couple armor, just in case we get hit by something.
Yeah, so
that's probably good enough.
Yeah, there are a lot of abilities in this game, and each piece of gear comes with it. So it's
this is a good one.
You can really customize your character and your playstyle fairly significantly. I think maximum number of passives each item can come with is 3. So that can range anywhere from damage, health, defense, to a bunch of crazy stuff.
Oh, just kidding, my gunner head fell off. He died.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Later, as you can see, it ramps up in difficulty really quick. So in the beginning it seems really easy, and a lot of people were saying how, oh, it doesn't look like you're doing a whole lot. Yeah. You're just kind of hitting stuff and then you get gold. Yeah, it's like that in the beginning, but it gets really, really hard. As you can see, she's pretty high level, and Laura's already getting one shot by hits.
Yeah. Like it's so easy to start trying to gems.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, oh wait, this guy's super low, and then it's like, I need to switch him off.
Yeah, it actually becomes really technical, and you have to start really paying attention to your weapon abilities, your stats. There's a lot of ways to upgrade different things in this game. Lots of kinds of loot. So if you're having trouble with stuff, just take a moment to look at what kind of gear you have. Don't just pay attention to the stats, how much attack the weapons do, but what the abilities do. And the characters, they all have their own passives and different strengths as well. So the hunter here, she's really good for harder stages because she has a lot of mobility, so she can dodge things really well while damaging them. The shielder is good, the one that she's currently using, because he has a lot of HP, so it's very difficult for him to die. He has some very defensive abilities as well. I like his combos a lot personally. He's really fast.
I actually can't jump as many certain heads too.
Right. Yeah. So you can jump as many times as you have heads. So if you have 4 characters, you can jump 5 times. You get 1 double jump and then get double jump. So,
just gonna keep falling.
yeah. So some of the areas will require you to have more jumps in order to get to some secret treasure.
At least finishing the level should be able to be done with your 1 head if that's all you have left. It's 2 out of range. They always have these lifts too, which is nice.
Yeah, the portals are really helpful. And they're good surprising. So the game really does reward you for being remembering the layout.
Some of the levels are repeated too.
Yeah.
Different areas.
Yeah, so you get kind of the blocks or chunks of certain stages, and you'll see them again. So it's helpful when you're playing a really hard later level to be able to see something.
That's gonna do it for Lapis X Labyrinth. We're just gonna leave ourselves in that dungeon. It's fine. Nothing bad will happen. All right. So Lapis X Labyrinth coming out May 28th for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. I think we have pre-orders up on our store. We have a limited edition. Some cool stuff in that limited edition, so definitely check it out. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
We're gonna switch to Neo Atlas 1469. So yeah, we'll get that set up, and thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so Neo Atlas coming up. Joined here with Aaron today, who you saw earlier on the showcase stream.
What's up?
Hair change.
Oh yeah, I thought it dyed a dark red.
Yeah,
like
just like
a bit after we recorded that.
Sometime
showcase,
in between,
so
like the showcase and like suddenly now. All right.
I'm just the evil twin showing up here.
All right, I think we're good to go for Neo Atlas 1469. So this game is on the Nintendo Switch. This is the first time it's getting a physical release.
That's right.
Also going to be coming out on April 9th.
Yes.
So
April 9th is the date to jot down in your planners.
Your planners.
I was like, I'm just
your phones, your planners.
No phones, because it's 1469.
Oh,
so
okay.
in your little
right,
like
your journals,
your Seabound journal, yeah.
All right, so we're actually gonna load game. Let's see, what's a good area to load? Interesting. Cool. Oh my god, we're good.
Dang, you're ballin'.
Yeah, we're good.
Can this be real life?
I know, right? We were playing this a little earlier. So this game, it's essentially your Portuguese trading company, as you said before.
Right.
Exploring the world. This takes place in a time when the world wasn't really known if it was flat or round, at least in Europe.
Or if, anything else
is happening
about the world that we're not aware of.
So essentially, like, your main goal is trying to figure out what this world looks like. Yeah.
So what does this current world look like?
This current world, this is what it looks like. We have a lot of random islands everywhere.
Okay.
So this map is sort of procedurally generated. For the most part, most of your land is kind of where it should be. Like, you see,
looks similar
Europe
to
and Africa should be there.
Yeah, we know the world as today.
But as you explore more and more, the world starts getting a little bit stranger. You have like this random nubby here that suddenly was generated. Like, Africa doesn't have a big.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was like, huh?
So I'm gonna ignore you, Miguel. And so we had all these random like islands suddenly get generated. And as you can see, there's what looks like a giant sea in the middle, connecting India and I'm assuming Indonesia. That looks about right.
Right, yeah.
And then we have Japan over here, which actually got connected to China.
Okay.
It's a little hard seeing where that is at this point. But yeah, so basically what you can do in this game is you can send your admirals out. There's quest lines and stuff.
Right.
Depending on what you want to do. So this is Maria. We're gonna use her because I think she was actually pretty decent. We'll explore that later. You just send your admiral out into the fog. The fog can be cleared away by your admirals. Oh, just kidding, she can't go that far. And then we're just gonna be like, yeah, go.
There we go. Set sail.
Set sail. And then so she will leave. Goodbye. All these other boats are our trade routes. Oh, she hit something, so she came back super fast.
Whoa.
Whenever they encounter something or reach the end of their journey, they'll suddenly come back. And let's see what she did. This is her Admiral report.
All right. What have you got in store for us?
Yeah, what did you find? Going through the fog. And this is where the fog actually starts to clear too. So I guess, yeah, she hit this land over here.
Oh, sweet.
It's pretty good. But let's say, like, oh, you know, I don't like how that land looks.
Yeah.
I'm not really into like the shape, the aesthetic of that island.
Yeah.
I could disapprove what she just found. Say no, that's wrong. I don't believe you at all.
Right.
And then it'll ask me, oh well, do you want her to explore again? Yeah, sure, go do it. She'll probably come back pretty fast again. She got one of the fast ships.
Oh, I see.
Oh, she didn't come back as fast. So it is actually like
there she is.
Yeah, determine kind of when they go out, what the land's gonna look like. Even if the land looks a certain way and you can kind of see it under the fog, it's not guaranteed that's what it looks like until an admiral goes to explore it.
Cool. It's like a nice little surprise waiting for you.
Yeah. So you never know. You might run into something random. Might run into a crack, and it happens. So she didn't run into land as fast this time. It's actually like almost no land right there.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, there we go. So now there was water where there was land, and I'm like, you know, I'm kind of digging this.
Yeah.
This is a good piece of land. So I'll approve that. Yeah, and we have a couple different admirals. Each one has different ships. I'll probably go into the ship menu real quick just to show some of the stuff. Change our ships. So this is our ship skill tree, essentially. You find little books around everywhere. It's a discovery you can make. You upgrade your ships. Each one has their own sort of range of abilities. Some of them are better on battle power, like these ships. Good for taking out pirates. These ones are just really fast. It's good for when you're speedrunning.
Right.
And so let's check out some trade routes. The main way, because you know, this is your trading company.
Right.
What's a trading company without trading?
Just a company.
Just a company. It's just a regular, generic company. But essentially, so you have to fund your expeditions.
Right.
Your admirals aren't free, unfortunately. You have to pay them every once in a while, and they'll remind you.
You gotta make that coin, you know?
Yeah, and so...
Tough world out there.
These are all your trade routes. You can essentially find any, like, random city around here. Usually the cities are attached to some sort of product goods. We know Europe is just a ton here. Each one of these are little goods, and then if you click on the good, you can choose to establish a trade route. We have too many, so we can't make any more. And then you pick a ship, and then you pick another trade route, and then pirates again. So pirates attack your trade routes. That's a thing that happens. But essentially, that's how the main way you make money. Pirates aren't on my trade route yet, so that's fine. So one of the main things is discovery. You can discover land. You can discover random treasure, which I believe there's some. Gotta pay my admirals. Always gotta pay my admirals.
And you can also discover some pretty fascinating creatures, right?
Yeah, we can discover some pretty weird stuff. Like, so this is something like I discovered earlier. It's a wooden mast. There's actually a bunch of wooden masts around. If you find all of them, you get a certain amount of money. But like this game just, it seems normal when you first try playing it, but it gets a little strange sometimes. If you want to go straight into our encyclopedia, some of our more interesting discoveries we've made.
Can't wait.
Let's see. So there's Krakens for one, King Kraken, someone you can fight. He's one of my favorite guys. He's just Island Turtle.
Oh,
he's chilling. Like, we can go straight to him too. You can jump to them. And so this guy's just chilling in the water. Like, you find him. Hey, Island Turtle. Miguel freaks out when you find him. He's not sure if it's a turtle island or an island turtle. But he gives you money when you discover him. That's essentially what these discoveries do. Some weird stuff in here. Let's see.
I like the
my favorite guy.
Yeah.
This is a meatling. I discovered him, and I'm a little regretful that I discovered him.
Was it worth the money to have my eyes lay upon this?
See, I got money for discovering this guy. I got 200,000. That might be worth discovering this monstrosity. What makes me uncomfortable is that he's surprisingly fast. But essentially,
I wonder why.
I know, right? Well, what interesting thing about this game also is that when you're doing quests, sometimes it's like, oh, well, where do I go for the quest? Well, sometimes you get these little rumor bubbles going around.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of them. Those. You click on them, and it's kind of like, this was from the quest where you're trying to find this guy's hat. So this guy was like, oh, who made that eastbound hat? Because the hat happened to be traveling east. So little rumor bubbles will pop up, and you click on them, and it's kind of like hearing what people around that area are saying.
Right.
And one popped up for the meatling, and
what did they say?
Can we eat this? I was like, oh no, oh stop, please. Why are you doing that?
Let's just... I was concerned that popped up in the first place.
I know. Like, you see this lump of meat with obviously a face on its torso body,
Yeah, kind of like a nose
Yeah.
protrusion. So.
And your first thought is, can I eat this? No, don't do that. So let's actually let's show some fighting off. It's more or less the same as sending our admiral out to go explore. We're gonna use Baldy because he's my main fighter, but I'm also gonna repair ships because I don't want him to be mad at me.
I love how he's like a snob,
Oh, he's
an
such a snob.
ex-pirate, and then an ex-prime minister.
Yeah, he originally starts out as your prime minister, something with sailing. So we're actually gonna investigate. It's kind of a lot to take in at once for this game. I call it like a micromanaging game because kind of just you're chilling, you're sending admirals out. We're gonna beat this guy up because I don't like him. And then we're gonna just send him out there. Just kidding. I didn't know on that one. But yeah, there's a couple admirals you can manage at once. You can set them all to do different things. You can explore different lands. Oh, he's pretty close. So he's just gonna go over and like run him over. And
nice.
Goodbye. He still has his report to give. So we'll confirm that he won. And then we get money for beating people up. So that's always kind of nice. You have to keep the seas clear because they mess with your trade routes, and then you lose money. When you lose money, you can't pay for new ships, and then your admirals get mad because you're not getting paid. It's just
messes up your whole plan.
I know. It's what's like running a trading company. But it's a pretty nice casual game. I'd say it plays really well on the handheld Nintendo Switch. Got some money for that. So yeah, let's see what else there is to do. This is Japan. We discovered it. There's a lot of new goods that we didn't discover from before. This is like an area we can investigate. If we wanted to, we can send Atu out. He's pretty good at like investigating things.
So all the admirals, they have their own, I guess, strengths that you could play with.
Yes, you can view them in here. So Baldy specifically was always good at battle power.
Yeah.
So these are all his stats. You see his battle power is 8.8 plus an extra 3 that I had given him from an item, which is pretty high. He's not really good at observing things though. Or navigating. It's surprised he actually found the pirate.
Yeah,
so
you win some, you lose some. Yeah.
Oh well. And so Maria specifically has like really good charisma. The way you explore, you end up docking in different areas sometimes because your ships can only go so far.
Right.
So like if I wanted Maria to go out and it's too far away, oh no, I want you to go like explore. I'm assuming there's some sort of land out this way. Maybe. We don't know. So we check this. Oh, I'm on Baldy, that's why. I don't want to be on Baldy. Baldy's not good at charisma. I forgot about that. That's why he can't go over there. But Maria has really high charisma. So even though that Baldy is barred from going to this town, Maria can go because she has really high charisma.
Awesome.
And so she'll zip over there. You can also increase their stats every time they do something, they discover something, they fight something. Even if they lose against the pirates, it will increase their battle power, it'll increase their observation, navigation.
It's not for naught.
Not for naught. One of the main things that we mentioned before is discovering how the world looks. As you can see from our map here, we're kind of in this like flat square area. Like we can't go further than that. However, there's a couple quest lines you can run. And the quest lines that some admirals give you are, hey, is the world round or flat? And one of them adamantly believes it's round.
Alright.
And he'll be like, no, we should sail to the edge of the world. Or we should sail to the left because we can get to India faster that way. And everyone else is like, no, what are you, crazy?
Right.
But you can actually choose, do you want to sail this way or do you want to sail to the right? And if you end up sailing to the right, you have to skirt around Africa, to get to India. You can keep sailing to the right too anyways. Just get to the left. It's the unknown. You don't know what you're doing. But it's also not hard set what the world is. It's up to you what you want.
Exactly.
You can choose if the world is round or flat. I remember I got to the edge of the world once, and they're like, oh, rejoice, the world is round.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great. And then they go like, do you believe that though? And I was like, well, there's another quest line if I want the world to be flat, so maybe I'll check that out first. I know, right? So you can choose to disapprove when you discover that the world is round, and maybe find a specific anchor that'll kind of keep you from falling off the edge of the world.
Okay.
So it really is up to you how this world looks like. It's not just this regular round world. It's whatever you believe.
Have you ever fallen off the edge though?
I haven't. I haven't finished that quest line
Okay.
actually. It's a pretty long quest line. All about finding Sinbad's anchor, which will root you into the edge so you don't fall off, because no one wants to fall off the edge of the world. I found a round world though.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. Interesting things happen when you find the round world.
Yeah.
Your map view might change a little bit.
I see.
Just as your map view might change a little bit if you think it's flat.
That's true.
So yeah, we're watching Maria again. She's just going out. She might hit a Kraken. Oh, King Kraken. So a lot of mythological things, I'd say, come out in this world. It's not just straight up historical Portuguese trading company stuff. You can find Krakens.
What's that little like typhoon thing?
Typhoon? This is a tornado. You can actually get money for discovering the tornado, which I got 10,000.
Okay.
Another shout out, this game is out April 9th, you can see it above our heads. It's coming out on Nintendo Switch, first time it's getting a physical release.
Yep, go check it out.
Good casual game if you like exploring, kind of just zooming around. I guess last thing we haven't really showed off yet is we have this dowsing rod. So you lose detail when you zoom out.
Right.
If you zoom in, you can find like things that are too small to see from outside, and a lot of treasure chests are like that. But they gave us this pendulum, so you can kind of douse.
Oh, cool.
There's treasure in here somewhere. So you can, it's a good way to like quickly find treasure.
Yeah.
And they give you like 60 seconds total, then you have to go recharge it.
Aw, man.
So close. I could feel it.
I can smell it.
And sometimes the treasure chests are really small too. There it is.
There you go.
And that's how you find treasure. A lot of treasure chests all around this area. Where did we find? Oh, we just found gold. A lot of gold too. Good for a trading company.
Medicinal treasure, nice.
After we spent a lot of money on ships. We used to be at like 10 million gold.
Wow.
We spent too much money on ships. Alright, I think that's gonna wrap us up here with Neo Atlas. So yes, that was our last game that we were showing off.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We're honored to end it off. No.
Yeah, I figured, you kind of started it off. Be sure to check out our social medias. We have a Discord. It's discord.gg/NISA.
Come on, join. Yeah.
New thing we set up, so that's pretty cool. You can come connect with us. We connect with you.
Yeah.
We thank you guys for showing up to the showcase.
Yeah, thanks for watching and
and
playing with us on the stream.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool games coming out. You saw a lot of new announcements. We will have more information coming to our social medias, as well as a lot of our games that we had already announced, which we're happy to show off today. We have more streams coming. We stream every Thursday at 3 p.m. Yes, we have one this week. I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, but we stream a different game every week. Usually we pre-stream the game that's coming out the next week.
Right, it's coming out very soon.
So March has a lot of things coming out, as you might have seen. So we'll be streaming a lot of the new stuff again. So more SNK.
Oh,
more
right,
SNK 40th, more Princess Guide. So if you like those games, check those out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you guys have a good rest of the week.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Oh, I forgot it was Monday. Oh no. Okay.
All right.
See you guys.
Later.